You're listening to Dungeons, Divas, and Delinquents. My name is Blake Dennis, and I will be your dungeon master throughout this tale of grand adventure, grim heroism, strange allies, and gray morals. Joining us on this adventure are...
I'm Jesse Nitchkey, and I'm playing Click Boom, your specialized Kenku fighter.
I'm Thomas Teter, and I play Shados Cockburn, a swashbuckling tiefling bard.
I'm Emily Hornyak, playing A, the High Elf Protection Cleric.
I'm Sarah Holloman, and I play Ylorhana, and I'm your resident rogue.
I'm Kai from Hex and Slash on Instagram. I play a water genasi monk named Lapis Lazulli. Or do I?
And I'm Rebecca Meacham, and I will be playing your resident Goliath barbarian, Restrana, Lord Killer, Calthagarenthee, und das ist meine Golden Eagle, Nazula, Vollblinder, Calthagarenthee.
Now, without further ado, let's dive into Eddonia.
Where we last left off, we found ourselves in the town of Wealdstone in the Varani province of Eddonia. We saw ourselves in the Crooked Trout Tavern where we met each of our adventurers in the most unlikely of circumstances. A supposed unit of bandits and thieves and marauders being paid to protect the town of Wealdstone finally had come full circle, and seeing that their clients had armed themselves to the teeth with armor and weapons from a nearby fort, they decided this was the best opportunity to take over the town for themselves, since they believed that they didn't need their protection anymore. The leader of the Sabers, this aforementioned bandit clan, took with her Alaris, the mayor of Wealdstone, as well as Johanna, one of Shados' troop members in his traveling carnival. We find ourselves outside of the Crooked Trout in the midst of a very intense siege upon the town of Wealdstone. We see Lila, the half-orc woman with grayish-green skin and bronze plate armor, cradling her younger brother, who you all found out to be Rashagame, who had been traveling with Click Boom and A on their personal journey. You see now Lila cradling Rashagame as she is imbuing in him some essence of divine life from the goddess Amare, her patron deity. She looks at each one of you, battered from the battle before, and goes, "Go, find the others. Keep Wealdstone safe." At that moment, you hear gunfire off in the distance, and her head snaps towards the eastern direction of the town. And Lila curses under her breath and turns to you, says, "They're after the Clank Tank. They probably want more potent weapons, such as rifles and pistols and the like. They can only do so much with their pikes and axes. If they get their hands on any of those weapons, this town is done for."
I think you are underestimating good and evil. And Restrana's just gonna, fucking flex her guns at the two of them.
Oh god.
That's gonna be great.
Where is the Clank Tank from here?
Just as you say that, you hear another round of gunshots being fired off in the east.
I guess it's that direction.
Okay, shall we go?
Let's go!
Say the left, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good plan.
Before he goes, Click's going to go over to Rashagame. Is he conscious?
Yeah, he's just gained consciousness.
He's going to go over and he just shoulders his crossbow and he just puts a hand down onto Rashagame's shoulder and he imitates Rashagame and just says, "Hurt that." And he turns and he's already booking it out the door, loading another bolt in the crossbow.
figured Lapis is in like a Karen stance of just like, all right, kids, let's go, like stamping her feet, like, let's go, come on, let's go, go.
So, as you all run towards the direction of the aforementioned
Can I
gunfire.
do something beforehand?
Yes, definitely.
The one guy we killed all together, can I take his clothing?
Yeah, sure. So you.
That's a weird kink, but okay.
Yes.
And I also want to see every inch and crevice of his body and memorize it.
Okay. Fair enough. It's going to take you a couple minutes to
How
do.
big's his dick?
Just
Somewhat average.
I'll
Normal?
I do not know.
Is this
Maybe.
what you do with your beating? You strip them down and study them?
No.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta take what's given to you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Lapis is gonna make a mental note of that later.
And Ada turns to Clank and goes, "You all are very strange, but we're gonna continue with this. Let's go."
as the sound of gunfire starts to get louder and louder, you are all booking it down the cobblestone streets of Wealdstone. You can smell smoke now beginning to rise. You can hear more metal clanging against other metallic objects. The sounds of shouts in the distances. The sounds of inner rage being summoned in the midst of this siege upon the small, quaint town of Wealdstone. As you all turn the corner of this street, you see a small scuffle occurring off in the distance, and you can see a couple of townspeople, about 2 or 3 of them, being slowly cornered by about 3 bandits and a giant badger.
Do I know any of them?
Any of the townspeople?
Yeah. Do I recognize any of them?
Just roll a perception check.
And do I recognize the rat?
Do you hang out with rats often?
The rat.
The rat?
The badger.
The badger.
Do you hang out with badgers frequently?
Yeah, both of you make perception checks.
Sneaky.
Do you also hang out with the mushroom?
Mushroom.
I think what Restrana is trying to ask you. Do you do drugs? Are you okay?
16.
16.
16. Maybe not so okay.
It just looks like a typical normal giant badger to you. I mean, maybe not typical and normal, but a giant badger nonetheless. Nothing distinguishing it from anything
Okay,
that you may
so
have seen.
like
Just your resident
like
giant
this-
badger.
the same as we encountered before, but not the one that me and Shed encountered before.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there one bandit that's like looks higher up? Or maybe leading the group?
You can see they all seem to be wearing very similar regalia to one another. There doesn't seem to be any sort of indication of hierarchy.
Okay.
But it does seem like one of them is sort of like at the apex of the group, being flanked by the giant badger cornering these townsfolk in. Lapis, did you roll perception?
Yeah, I said 4.
4. You from this distance, you can't really tell.
Mhm.
You might have seen them in the tavern once or twice before, but other than that, like it's kind of hard to tell with all the chaos that's going on.
They look like normal city folk to me there, Chief.
Do they appear armed?
The civilians?
Yes.
No, they do not. As you run closer, you can see it's actually a mother with 2 of her children. The mother is a human woman, a little bit portlier, and her 2 kids, both boys, both very red in the cheeks. They look to be very identical to one another, and they're being cornered by these bandits and
I'm gonna
badger.
cast Word of Radiance on the 3 bandits and badger.
Okay. And Click, what did you want to do?
I'm shooting the lead. As soon as I see the citizens, especially the kids, I'm loosing a crossbow, a heavy crossbow shot, ready to lead. And are they looking the other way? Would I maybe get like advantage? Are we spotted or anything? I don't know.
You are not spotted at this current time. So yes, you would have advantage on it. And when you do that, Ress, what do you want to do?
Can I just run up on the bandit that's most in the front and just jump and kick them in the face with my knee?
We will get to that, but first I need everyone to roll initiative. $25-20. Jesus Christ. Okay. Emily.
A is a 23. I
Okay.
rolled nat 20.
Click.
A nasty ass dirty 20.
And Shados.
Alright, on.
A, Click, Shados. 20 to 15.
18.
15 to 10.
11.
Oh.
Okay, so not even going to do a surprise round because A, Shados, and Click go before the first enemy. So first is A.
I'm gonna fire firebolt at the badger.
Okay, which is that mimic there.
The mimic.
Yep.
120 feet of someone within range that I can see. So
Yep.
that works.
Okay.
Does 20 hit?
Yes, it does hit.
It takes 10 points of fire damage. I would like to point out that I rolled a nat 20 for my initiative and I rolled 10 on my 10.
Which
Nice.
Someone has a way to die.
It was
Okay,
on two
so
different things.
as soon as you all round this corner, immediately, without hesitation, almost like a reflex, you focus your divine essence as you reach your hand out, muttering an incantation as this bright white light effervescently illuminates from your hand, and you send it searing off into the distance. Both Lapis and Click can feel the heat of this firebolt as it passes through them. As it hits the badger in the side, knocking it off its feet for a bit, but now aware to the party's presence. It doesn't look too good from that hit. Is that your turn then?
Yep, yeah.
So, after A is...
Oh, yeah, should I move? Forgot I should do
It's
that.
up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep focusing for
Yes.
Can I go through that?
No.
20.
Okay, I'll allow that. That's technically going through somebody, but whatever. Okay, so next is Shados. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look to the two bandits and the giant badger, and I'm just gonna go
Sleep!
Okay, so go ahead. So roll 5d8. So, as you extend your hand and wave it out in front of you, a slight plume of purplish energy follows as you yell your command word of sleep. And as that happens, the two bandits turn over towards you, slightly confused, and just fall to the ground asleep. So this lasts for 1 minute or 10 rounds.
Woo!
Or if you attack. If you
Right.
attack them, it wakes them up.
Okay.
Okay, that's your action. You've got your action and your movement. You still have a bonus action.
Already dodge action.
Readying an action takes up your action for that turn.
I'm gonna turn around and look at Click and say, "Go on yourself!"
Click. So the strange utterance of words that you hear before you inspires you, and you gain a new phrase to add to your vocabulary. You feel this sudden rush of adrenaline and energy, as if you can take on these guys without any problem whatsoever. At the end of your turn, Shados, it is now Click's turn, and following Click will be the Badger.
Hold on. There were there 3 bandits or 2 bandits?
2 bandits, so
Okay.
3 enemies total. It's the 2 bandits and the Badger.
And the badger is still awake.
Yes.
This is gonna be the hard question. Would I know what he did? Would I know to not shoot them?
I'm going to say No, because this is all happening within 6 seconds of one another.
Yeah.
I would say it would be very difficult for you to ascertain that situation. Actually, you know what? I want you, as a free action, I just want you to make a perception check.
Okay. 19.
19. Yeah, I would say in the heat of the moment, after his inspiration, you did get that sort of upper edge to, as you're aiming your crossbow sights, you see them slowly starting to drift and fall asleep. But that's all you can really tell. You can't tell the effects of the spell, what ends the spell, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I think because they are still incapacitated, I'm gonna shoot for the badger. That is a natural 20.
Woo! Woo!
So, as you line your sights up to this badger who is severely burnt to a crisp, you manage to find a piece of tender flesh that got burned away, and using that to your advantage, you line up the sight to that and shoot off a heavy crossbow bolt that skewers into the side of the badger, letting out a ear-piercing yelp as it cascades about 5 to 15 feet away from the rest of the scene, being blown away by the impact. Click, you still have your movement, and you still have bonus action.
I'm gonna do full movement,
Okay.
and then I'm going to look at the woman and children, and I'm just going to meet their eyes and just say, "Run! Run now!"
Okay. So the women and children look at you, a Kenku decked to the nines in crossbows of all different varieties, and she just sort of sits there a little bit frozen in time, just assessing the situation at hand. That's going to be your turn. And there is no badger. So after the badger, it is going to be Lapis.
Will I have seen the spell used before to know what the fuck's going on, or have I seen it and kind of like infer what has happened?
Because I mean, he does scream sleep.
Yes. You are aware that it is a spell that causes sleep. I would say in your case, just make an Arcana check for me as a free action. 21. Yeah, you.
21.
Yeah. So growing up in the tutelage of your mentor and amongst the various students, you studied a myriad of subjects, including arcane spells and how to recognize them. And you do interpret this as the sleep spell, and you understand its effects.
Is there anybody else I see around?
Not in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
You just see this going on.
Alright. I am going to... Well, it's either we take them down or we just let them sleep. I'm fine for the latter. I'm not... I think Lapis wouldn't stab somebody in their sleep, so we're gonna just...
Time up!
Yeah, right? 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm gonna use dash.
To get an additional up to 40 feet.
70. Okay, I'm gonna use 70 of my 80. And then I have rope. Can I start to tie the guy in front of me, or has the dash used my action?
Your dash has used your action.
Alright, well then, next time around, if Sir Fuckface doesn't awaken, I will start to tie him then.
Lapis, as you start running, you see out of the corner of your eye from that pathway leading over to the right, you see 4 more bandits start to run down that alleyway.
The alleyway I passed?
No, that large street right there.
Oh, okay.
You start to see 4 of them
Alright.
run
At
that
a-
direction.
This way, or
This way, like towards the
Towards
commotion.
us.
Okay, so Lapis, as that ends your turn, as you see these bandits starting to approach from that adjacent road, one of them spots you immediately and is going to run up to you and attack with their saber.
Hooray!
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. 4 points of slashing damage as this saber runs up, gaining on you at breakneck speed and just one fell flourish, just uppercuts at your ribs.
Sweet.
All right, that'll end that bandit's turn. After that, the next bandit is going to lock eyes with Click now that she has a view on him, and is going to shoot off a light crossbow shot against you. That is another dirty 20.
It's going hit.
Okay. 6 points of piercing damage as suddenly you feel this intense, sharp pain in your upper shoulder blade. As you look down, you see this, as if it came out of nowhere, this light crossbow bolt sticking out of you. You go to reach for it and try to tear it off, but it breaks off, and you just toss it over to the side. Okay.
Would you say it's been 10 minutes since our last fight?
Yes. Yes.
Well, shit.
It wouldn't have mattered. My AC is only 15. I'm a squishy boy. Okay, I'm not squishy, I'm just easier to hit.
I'm 12.
Okay. So, after that bandit is going to be Restrana. So, what would you like to do?
Where am I at?
You are all the way in the back.
So
That's where you said you were.
yeah, let's stop there. I'd like to get as close as I Goliathly can.
Alright, so that's 30 feet of movement still.
Great, so that's my.
Okay, so,
Probably get right up. Shots.
okay. You want to
No.
push, rest,
It's
6
5,
faces?
right?
6. Boom.
Groovy. From there, I just want to kick that foe with my knee in the face.
There is nobody in front of you.
Yeah, everybody, all the enemies are up here.
Shit. Okay.
Yep, everyone is very far away.
Probably fire glasses. Can I throw my javelin at the gray guy, which is going to be the enemy? Right?
Yes. The one attacking Lapis or one of
Yes.
the ones sleeping?
Here's Lapis. Sleeping enemies. That's one attack.
What's the one back yonder?
This?
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Cool.
This is the closest enemy to you.
Okay, cool. Then I'm totally going to throw my javelin at the one.
Okay. Yep, that is in range. 30 to 120 feet.
Yep. That's a 9.
A 9 to hit.
9 hit.
Misses. So as you throw your javelin, you just miss wide as it sails off into the distance, clattering up against a nearby house. It'll still be retrievable later on, but it did not hit, unfortunately. Okay. Does that end your turn?
Yeah. Oh, my turn.
So,
I set myself face down and I end my turn.
Literally.
Your turn, Yugi boy.
all right, Ylorhana, you're up.
How much is dash again? Is that 30?
Dash is double your movement speed, but that also takes your action. But you have cunning action, which means you can take dash as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm. So I could, if I use that as a bonus action, I could do 60 feet.
Correct. You'd actually be one space ahead of that.
That?
Yep, because you can move diagonally.
Oh, okay. Then I'll do that.
Okay. So that is your movement and your bonus action, so you still have your action.
And I'll attack with my crossbow.
Okay, at the one attacking Lapis or the one further off in the distance?
The one attacking Lapis.
Okay, so go ahead, roll attack.
9.
9 doesn't hit. So just as Restrana earlier, you rush past her, sort of giving her this look of, what are you doing? And you pull your light crossbow out and go to shoot the same one, but you just aim a little bit too wide and just sort of sit there and fume for a bit.
Fuck!
Alright, so after Ylorhana is going to be these bandits here. These bandits are going to go ahead and 30 is going to smack that guy to wake him up. It was a natural 1, so just like doesn't wake him up. The Saber, she's going to run up here and is going to notice Ylorhana and take a shot at her. That is a 9 to hit. Nope. So, you see this saber take out a slung light crossbow, slings it up, aims over towards you, and you manage to just miss it as the bolt goes sailing behind you, hitting a nearby stack of barrels. You can start to hear the sound of liquid starting to pour out of them. You're unsure of what this liquid is, but it is not white. Thank you. Or
Is it flammable?
you'll have to find out.
I'm good.
Ooh, don't tell me that.
Top of the round is A.
I'm going to come up to this dude. Movement.
Mhm.
25.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my mace. Oh, smack.
Go to town on a motherfucker.
Go to town! Go to town! Does a 20 hit?
A 20 does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
It does 3 points of slashing.
No bludgeoning damage, yep. So, seeing Lapis being surrounded by all these bandits, your innate protective senses kick in as you rush over towards her, unsheathing your mace and knocking this saber right at the bend of the knee, trying to buckle him. He resolves a bit, but you did definitely do some damage to him. He's not looking too good either. So, after A is going to be Shados.
I move forward and I'm gonna look to.
And you're going to kill Click.
Murder a small bird.
I'm gonna look to the guy attacking Lapis and say, "Hey, two cows standing in a field. Which one is going on holiday?"
He just sort of like looks at you and is like,
What?
What?
The one with the weak eye.
And just suddenly.
I'm gonna cast hideous laughter.
Okay, so what kind of save does he have to make? I think that's what, wisdom save?
Yes.
That is an 11. Fails that save.
And you're dumb and
So,
stupid.
this bandit, this saber rather, just looks at you. At first you see a confused look, but then suddenly a very gnarled smile starts to crawl across his face as he just and just buckles down laughing uncontrollably. So currently he is incapacitated by Tasha's hideous laughter.
That is just gross.
You can see like spittle like flying out of his mouth as he's laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else you want to do, Shados?
I'm going to cast. I'm gonna cast Blade Work.
On yourself?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So then you get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Until the end of your next turn, I believe. Or until you're hit. Or no, it's until the end of your next turn.
Until the end
That's
of your
what it
next
is. Okay. Alright, so after Shados is going to be Click.
Okay, Click is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like $200 for pass and go.
$200 for pass and go. Sounds good. Actually, which one of these is the enemy? This one?
No, that is Shados. Right.
This
Shados?
one, this one's asleep, this one is asleep, this one's laughing.
Okay.
That's Lapis.
Laughing in.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Tasha's
they
hideous
follow.
laughter.
So it's
knocks
this one
him
in the
prone.
center of the gangbang.
Correct.
Okay.
He's seeing all of this bullshit going on around him.
Just so confused.
Like, holy shit, what's happening?
And I'm
So
going
are
to... Yes, I'm going to... The one in the back there that just shot me,
Mhm.
I'm going to shoot them back better.
Okay, go for it.
I'm not going to shoot them back better.
Okay, so
What'd you get?
as you
I got a natural 1.
uh,
Shoots himself in the foot instead.
I'm going to do something interesting with
There's
this.
a snake in my boot.
So, as you go to swing your heavy crossbow up and aim, you hear this. As you look down, you see the wood in the heavy crossbow start to splinter off. I'm treating this as a misfire, buddy.
Oh.
Oh no. Someone's gonna have to repair something.
And I'm not proficient in those tools yet.
Nope.
Ah.
Sorry. Fuck. Welcome to Dark Souls, bitches.
If I sling it and pull out one of my hand crossbows, would I be able to fire that as a bonus action?
You know what? I just want to see this, so go for it.
Okay. Just hear the clunk and just like throw it over my shoulder, draw, and fire at it.
Fuck yeah.
That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Jesus
There
Christ.
you go.
Hot diggity
There you go,
damn.
buddy. Roll your damage.
My damage, well, with a hand crossbow, it's not going to be much damage, probably. Still 8 damage. Still dealt more damage.
So,
Fuck you.
So, looking at the sight of your heavy crossbow, you quickly sling it over, and as you do, take your free hand down to reach down for your hand crossbow, and almost Clint Eastwood style, you just aim it, bang, as this hand crossbow bolt sears through the air, reaching the neck of this saber, knocking him down, and you see blood starting to pool from underneath him, dead.
Oh yeah.
So this one?
Correct.
I removed it.
I will take it. Give me.
Tell me, you feel lucky, punk?
Okay. That's the end of your turn then.
Yes, it is.
So then it is going to be Lapis' turn.
Alright. Wow, you have prettiest laughter, so.
Prone imposes advantage on you for attacks. Like you have advantage on attacks against prone.
I'm going to. Well, I have 7 health left, so I'm just gonna unleash on a motherfucker, and we're gonna spend my last key point.
I think also he's incapacitated, which is like auto crit, isn't it?
Conscious Peace Lecture. I know it knocks him prone. I don't know about the incapacitated part.
I don't know.
To the rules!
Let us consult the
Target must
ancient
succeed on a
tomes.
wisdom saving throw or fall
Such a
prone,
silly
becoming
case.
incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration.
Okay, so prone and incapacitated, which means the attack on them has advantage, and whatever attack you land is critted automatically.
Alright, so
How
do I
about
even
you?
need to roll?
Roll to see if you hit.
Disadvantage, right?
Yes.
So that would be 23
23 does
on
hit.
the first one,
Yep.
and then should I do for the flurry of blows? That's an additional 2 hits.
Yeah, roll for them.
Okay.
Both.
With advantage?
Yep.
Okay, so the first one would be an 18, and then the second one will be a 22.
22, yeah. All 3 of those hits land, and they all auto crit. So how I'm running crits, as a fresh reminder, is you take your max damage die, you roll an additional damage die to it. So for a monk's unarmed attack, it's a D6. I thought it was.
D4.
D4. It's D6 later on.
Yeah.
So D4, so max 4. You roll an additional 4.
This is very. Can we just do it one by one?
Yes.
Because you explaining it's just going to make me more confused.
Go for it.
Alright, I need. How many. Just keep it simple for my brain. How many dice am I
need
actually rolling?
2 D4s for each attack.
Okay. That's what we're just going to do. That is on the first one. 7 plus 3, so that's 10. 6, 9, and then 6.
25 damage.
25 damage. And you know what? I thought that crit rule was going to be effective, but it's honestly just a lot of math. It was just to make your critical seem a lot more impactful in case if, like, you rolled for critical damage and you got a 1, you know?
Valid.
Yeah, but we'll say for the point of this, you did 25 damage in that auto crits, so that is 50 damage. This guy, as you turn around, just scream, "Motherfucker!" and just start whamming at him as he's laughing uncontrollably. You're pounding into his face like it is ground beef. You are making hamburger patties out of this Saber's face.
It's that scene from Fight Club. I'm just beating the shit out of Jared Leto. It's just like, stop being a white asshole!
Anyway, so that bandit is beyond dead.
Jesus Christ.
And then afterwards,
Superstar.
I'm just gonna look at him and look at myself.
You're welcome.
And just be like,
Or the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Gosh.
my bad. I went too hard, guys. I need a lawyer.
Anyone gonna respond to that?
It's fine.
Good game, team!
That Saber in the far end is going to see Click, is going to make an attack with their Saber. Okay, that's a 6. So, you, Click, you nimbly duck, dodge, dive. What was it?
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yes, that. Out of the way of this blade as sort of your body contours in like a cartoonish way, just dancing around the blade as it's trying to make contact with your feathery torso.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge an attack.
You can dodge a sword, you can dodge a ball.
Okay, so that's going to be their turn. So after that Saber is going to be Restrana. You are still all the way in the back now.
Yeah, that was a bad plan, bud. So I'm gonna move another 30 feet forward.
Okay.
You can take the dash action.
I mean, I'd call that. I'd call that even then. For my other action, can I talk some shit?
Yeah, I'll say that
You
that's
can
a free
always
action.
shit talk.
Really? So I'm gonna look at the one bandit closest to me and go, "Hey,
What?
how does your mother's mouth taste?"
I'm sorry.
Well, you know, I just heard through the local bar that your mother loves sucking cold cock.
What would you like to do? Move here, and then I'm gonna shoot the one attacking Click. Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage plus your sneak attack. So 14. So you strengthen your resolve for a bit, and as you line up the sight of your crossbow, you manage to just get it above Click's head as this arrow sinks right into the tender part of the armpit of this Saber. And she looks really bad right now. That Saber is going to go ahead and try to wake up the other one. That was a 7 to hit, so tries to slap again, but just cannot shake the sleep spell off of him. It's too strong.
Wait the fuck up.
But mommy, the kobolds are gonna win.
Alright, so, top of the round, A.
So A is looking at the
people around her and noticing that some are looking quite injured. And she is going to reach and pull a chain out from underneath her armor. And you all can see the emblem of a willow tree next to like some like water. And she is going to say, "Que ça va la vie?" And she is going to channel her divinity. You guys all see this like these like gold radiance coming out on her, and she is going to give I'm going to give my new friend Lapis and Nick those 5 points. Healing points.
Thank you.
And she seems very drained afterwards, like that took a lot from her.
Ooh, shiny.
Make a Constitution check for me.
Me?
Yes, you.
That would be a check or a save?
Check.
20.
Yeah, you're good. Okay. So, is that all you're doing?
Yep, that's all she can do.
Okay.
I took a lot out of her, so she's gonna stay where she is.
Alright, Shados, your turn.
Gonna pull out my sword and my dagger and attack the bandit right there.
Okay, go for it. Roll 2 attacks then.
9 on the sword.
Doesn't hit.
Well, if that doesn't hit, that one certainly doesn't. So I missed.
Okay, so as you unsheathe your weapons and start to approach the one saber, he starts to hear you and turns over towards you. And as you try to make your attacks, just takes his saber out and deflects both of them with breakneck speed. Anything else that you would like to do on your turn? So that's your turn.
Can I give that to anyone else? Because on D&D Beyond it just says self.
That means you can only cast it on yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so after Shados, it is Quinn.
I'm going to try and juke slightly and step back out of his combat range, which is going to give me. I'll take the attack of opportunity.
Okay. That is a 22.
That'll hit.
Natural 19. Okay. 2 points of slashing damage.
Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to pull up the other hand crossbow and take 2 shots.
Okay. How far back did you move?
I'm just going to move 5 feet back.
Okay.
So that's going to be, the first one is an 18.
Yes, hits.
And the second one is a 22.
Yes, hits.
Nice.
That's going to be 20 points of damage.
Okay. So, as you dive out of the way, you get caught a bit in the stomach by the sword that had attacked you. But as you jump back about 5 feet, hand crossbow still at the ready, you manage to aim just between the eyes and shoot off a bolt that sinks right into this saber's head, and she falls over, pool blood forming beneath her head. If the shot didn't kill her, the brain damage.
So was that on the first shot or for both?
That was for both.
Okay, sounds good. And then I'm going to... I just moved 5 feet back. I'm going to stack up next to Lapis and spin around just so I have eyes on the one in the center of the gangbang of pain.
Alright, Lapis, it's your turn.
I see a tiny child next to me and I'm very confused.
I'm legitimately like 4'3", something like that.
Yeah, so you're like
4'6".
like here-ish.
Yeah, I'm very short.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna...
The crossbows are apparently very large on me.
Really, packing heat there. And then I'm just gonna stare at the bird, and then just look around, very confused.
When she's staring at me, I don't take my eyes off the enemy, but I just kind of like sort of nod a little bit, and just A's voice comes out.
Not used to your kind. Just sit there in bewilderment. I have passed out in front of me. Is there anybody else?
Just
Yep.
Just
That's
that
the only one.
Okay. Did the women and children leave?
No, they're still there.
God damn it.
They're just watching this happen.
Alright, well, I'm gonna run up on a motherfucker. That was a 5. Wait, 7, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, 7 does not hit.
An iron strike. Boom. That's it. I got 2 2s.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Sorry.
Go to bitch slap it. Lightly just do the.
So as you run up, you try to land blows on him, but he quickly turns around with his saber and deflects it with the broadhead.
So I'm just punching a fucking sword at this point.
Yes.
Everyone keeps running up this guy and attacking him, and is basically just going.
You came up with my mace, and I was like, huh.
Alright, is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so this bandit is going to break away. Whoops.
Attack of opportunity.
Yep, so both Lapis and Shados have attacks of opportunity. You also do, yes.
Dirty 20.
And Restrana has an attack of opportunity.
No one leaves the gangbang.
So, is it my turn?
No, you just make a free melee attack.
I rolled a 20.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Well, 10.
I rolled
What's your
6.
modifier? What's your mod?
For
Attack.
For your axe.
Plus 7. So 17.
17, and then
6.
6 total. So, as the bandit sort of swats away at A, sort of pushing you back onto your, forgive me for lack of a polite term, on your fucking ass, you, the 3 remainders, Shados, Restrana, and Lapis, how do you want to finish this fucker off?
I'm gonna just do what's it called?
Do a combo move.
Yeah, I was gonna do Johnny Cage does.
Yeah.
Split and just punch right in the pelvis.
Just stab him in the ass.
So you uppercut into the pelvis, just ooh! Shados comes in with his sword, just stabs right through the ass. Restrana?
I'm gonna beat both of my packs and go, Was ist gut, du Schlampe? And just kick him in the face.
And that resounding kick echoes throughout the empty streets of Whalestone as this saber falls over in a bloody pulp dead. You have 2 bandits that are still asleep for, I want to say...
Can we pile the bodies on top of them and wake them up?
No, let's
Yes!
just tie them up
Stick
and
their
then-
finger up their butt.
Yes, restrain and then put the bodies of the dead.
You have about
Bring
40
up the
seconds.
dead!
You have about 40 seconds until they wake up.
Alright, I'm gonna tie the one.
Try and run up and tie them too.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and make. You can both make strength checks, or one of you can do it with advantage.
I'll do strength.
I mean, I was gonna help you up,
I got 21.
but
I mean, he was just
Can I hog tie him?
Yeah, I don't
With
see
his,
why
like,
not.
on his belly, with his, like, back and his back.
check.
Um,
I'm just gonna let you have advantage.
I already got 21, so we're good.
I'm going to. Clink would go up to the one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
19.
19. Yeah. All right. So you both run up as quickly as you can. Lapis, you hog tie the one, while A sort of just bounds the wrist together at the back and wraps the torso in the remainder of the rope that she has. Click, what are you doing?
Clink would see that A's going up to the one and actually like tying them up, but he sees that they're still. He's gonna go over and he's gonna aim his hand crossbow at the head of the sleeping one and look to A for permission.
No!
No. They are bound. They can do no more harm. Please.
I'm gonna look at the mother and children's. I'm gonna say, leave. You got 10 seconds.
Right. And she just ushers her kids. Come along, Jai, Kilo, go. Jesus.
She runs so fiercely, she fucks up the surround sound.
It's because I have a fucking wingspan of a bald eagle.
While I'm also doing this, can I gag him?
What do you...
I'm gonna like rip off a piece of my cloak and shove my cloak in his mouth. To, like,
Okay.
gag him.
Yeah, so you're able to do so.
Meanwhile, I'm just
yeah.
in the background taking shit from the dead bodies.
Okay, so you look around. You can find about you find 3 intact crossbow bolts. They're light crossbow bolts, and you walk around and you find the javelin that Restrana threw earlier.
I'm gonna go try to reclaim some of my crossbow bolts if possible.
Sure. You shot off how many?
I shot off 2 heavy crossbow bolts and 3 hand crossbow bolts.
Okay, so you would be able to get 1 heavy back and 2 of the hand crossbow bolts.
Thank you.
Yep.
And A is gonna look over. So you just filed all.
What don't you get about take what's given?
Can Rest just suck her?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't need my permission to roleplay. You just do it. Unless if it's like I kill the player, then I'm just like,
What?
hey.
So it's normal here. Do you go?
I'm not from here.
Okay, cool. Okay. And then you see her just kind of like start to take off towards the Clank Tank.
I get it now. You're crazy.
Cool. She kind of like steps off and is just like.
Can I do any like further investigation to see if they have like coin or like any type of valuables, anything?
Yeah, so go ahead and loot the bodies. They weren't really carrying much on them. You maybe gather around 40 copper pieces.
Okay.
I'm going to join A with where they're walking, and I'm going to stow my hand crossbow and start to bring out my heavy. I'm going to try, as we're walking, I'm going to try and fiddle with it and try and fix the fire.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Ooh, would I have any sort of knowledge, given my parents?
Are you guys proficient in crossbows?
Yes, I have a crossbow. I have a large crossbow.
I mean, they're not defined as simple tools, are they? Or weapons?
So a light crossbow and a hand crossbow is considered to be a simple ranged weapon.
Okay.
So
I'm
the
per-
heavy.
Oh, yours is a heavy. And I can't fucking help you, dude. I can tell you the history about it. Ooh, wouldn't that help? The history would also be knowing the schematic. I could walk them through it.
I would say no. The
Damn you.
history of a heavy crossbow would be more so of like who invented it, what battles it was used in primarily.
But if we're also thinking
notable
of-
heroes that might have used it in
Okay.
glorious battles.
I was
and that
thinking
kind of
more
stuff.
along the lines of like history as in like Leonardo da Vinci sketched out all of the model inlay and
Right. But that also requires a very deft understanding of tinkering and smithing
Okay.
and fletching and that kind of stuff. This is some can.
Like, it's one thing to say a heavy crossbow has a 65-pound pull or a 100-pound pull. It's one thing to see the numbers versus being able to set it and
Yeah,
exactly.
feel the...
Well, I figured if I
Would
knew
I be
the
able to
schematics and the literal engineering of it, not necessarily the practice of it, I could just be
Yeah.
like, oh, when you put it together,
fruity.
this
This
is what's
way.
this is
Yeah.
what's causing your problem. Yeah, not necessarily enough to fix it, but to like.
Yeah.
I
talk
would
you
say,
through
given your background, you weren't really. Tell me what your proficiencies are. Your skill proficiencies.
it. Short sword, simple weapon.
No, your skill
cartographers,
proficiencies, not your weapons, like history, arcana, that kind of stuff.
history, insight, acrobatics, religion.
Mine is
Yeah,
history,
sorry.
insight, medicine, perception, and persuasion.
I would say, Ylorhana, given your background, you would have the more knowledge of being able to repair such an item. While Lapis, you might know the history of the invention of it. Jesse does prove a point in you can look at numbers, but do you know how to set it?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I get.
Would I roll with sleight of hand? That's usually what Tinker's Tools is, but I don't know how you want to work that.
So in
I have a
this,
tinker box, so
that's a tinderbox.
tinderbox.
Tinder
Yeah,
box.
That's a thing you light candles with.
Listen, in this situation, you swipe left, you swipe right, you get burnt either way. I'm sorry, too
Yeah,
real?
so
Too
okay.
real?
So I would say roll a dexterity check, adding your proficiency with advantage.
Okay. Okay, so proficiency with advantage of the 23.
Yep, you have no problem setting everything back into place.
Okay. I fix it, I reset it, and the crossbow bolt that's snapped, I just literally throw it to the side and load another one.
Okay, fair enough. As you all congregate now, you see the two bandits starting to wake up now in their binds. One of them, gagged, starts writhing around, yelling something, but his speech is muffled. The other one just sort of sits there in utter defeat. The one that's hogtied and humiliated just sort of sits there, just accepting the situation, but the other one seems very adamant in getting out of their binds.
I'm gonna kneel down next to him and just go.
He just sort of stops shouting for a bit and raises an eyebrow towards you. Just.
I'm just gonna whack, punch him in the face. If he's still causing a fuss, I'm just gonna haymaker motherfucker.
Okay.
While it's on the ground.
Alright. Yeah. Roll an attack with advantage because he's tied up.
That is a 20.
Okay. So, you haymaker him in the temple, and as your fist connects with the density of his skull, you see his eyes roll back and flutter and just falls back unconscious.
Well, that takes care of that.
Yes, let's all get to the company now, please.
I'm gonna look at the guy hogtied, and I'm going to look at one of my darts and just toss it at like a 5-10 foot distance away from him. I'm just go, if you can figure out how to get out with your teeth, I'll be very impressed. And I start running.
Hey, but what if?
I'm already gone.
I'm now looking at A.
I can't hear you.
What if, we bring this guy where for information?
You're gonna carry this man?
Criminal underground. Have you seen my fucking shoulders? Let's go.
I think
But that's still a
very good
whole ass
idea,
human.
But she's hogtied, and she said, if he figures this way out, I'll also be very impressed. We'll come back for him later if he's not already dead. We need to make sure those guns don't just throw us.
Yep.
I'm gonna be behind them and I'm gonna pick up the crossbow that she left.
Oh, the
Can
dart?
I-
Yeah, the dart. I'm gonna pick up the dart. I'm just gonna.
Can
I'll
I
be
just
like-
look at A and go, great idea, and grab the guy who's hogtied and then just fucking knock him out by restricting blood flow on his neck and just carry him with me like a fucking ragdoll.
So you're basically going to hang this man.
Just knock him out!
No, yeah.
No,
you
you're
can
gonna
do
hang this man. You're a whole 10 feet off the goddamn ground. He's hogtied. He can't breathe.
Well, yeah!
Hogtied is on wrists and feet.
Yeah, but behind his back, he can't. His chest is open. That's like.
She could go right
So
to
just grab the rope and carry
Yeah.
it in a suitcase.
Carry him like a fucking human bag. You don't have to pick him up by his neck.
He
Fuck that,
he
dude.
looks up and he's just like, please, I'm already humiliated. Just let me go."
Leave him be with his
Human backpack.
dignity. Let's just go. And I literally start to take off.
Okay.
Clicks right on A's heels.
All right. Cool.
I look at the guy with a kissy face and go, thanks, time. Fuck off.
Yeah, and I took the third. Yeah, and just gave them the middle finger. Like,
That's actually a compliment in Eddonia. No, I'm
Oh.
just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, so you all run towards the direction of gunfire, and as you get closer and closer to the source of this sound, you can start to smell intense smoke and the smell of the very metallic scent of gunpowder hanging in the air. As you turn a corner, you see two bandits starting to close in on this central point in front of a building. This building, very simple in design, wooden, about 2 stories. You see the sign hanging from it, an anvil with a hammer, but in the hilt of the hammer is a trigger, similar to a rifle. And underneath it, in lettering, says the Clank Tank. As you all approach this scene of the 2 bandits, you just hear as 2 spread shots open wide in front of the bandits, in the bandits in front of you, rather, and you start to see blood pooling through their torso, and both of them collapse. As you take a look at who stands, well, not stands, rather sits before you, is a young adult wood elf. Very burly, very thick hair slicked back into a ponytail, in a mechanical wheelchair, holding a lever action rifle in his lap, as he aims the sight down and looks at the 6 of you frantically.
I mean, I feel like it would be the 2 of us because we
got there
ran
first.
ahead.
Yeah.
I was
put my
on
hands
your
up
heels.
and
So.
And me. Like friend, and Elvish.
Do I know this person?
Because they don't know who I am.
Yes, you know this person. You know him to be Ian Rick. Mostly goes by Ian. He is the owner of the Clank Tank.
Okay.
Russ is just gonna go,
Oh, God.
like, very audibly lick her lips in a...
Audibly?
Okay, type way. Yeah. Yeah. At this proprietor.
That's gonna make great audio evidence.
Oh,
Someone love the ASMR.
Lapis is going to step over the dead bodies and look at Ian and be like, "Whoa! Whoa, old timer! Whoa! It's just me!"
Old timer. Who's young?
Oh, he's old to me.
Okay.
Lapis, you gave me quite the scare there. And he just sheathes not sheaths, holsters.
Yeah.
His, I couldn't think of the word. It's weird when you're blending fantasy and all this shit together. So slinks his rifle to his back and starts to wheel up towards you and goes, "Oh, I didn't know you were back in town."
Yeah, I've been back in town for a bit. I just the
Well,
parents are busy and
can
blah
I-
blah blah.
can I-
We know.
I should have known because of the fucking siege on our town.
I
You
don't
always tend to bring trouble.
How dare you?
Friends, can we please take this inside where it's a little bit safer? Please.
Who's your friend?
A person.
Hi.
Yeah, because I don't think I got your name.
Hi. Hey. New here. Would like not to die. Inside, please.
Yeah, definitely. Let's make our way in. And he like looks past you and sees Click standing like right at your heel, and goes, "This guy with you too?"
Yes, he is a dear friend of mine.
You see all those people coming?
And just like looks past, and you can see that on like the bridge of his nose are a pair of spectacles. He pushes them up and just flicks a couple glass lenses in front of them that zoom in, and you can see the rest of you, Ylorhana, Restrana, wow, and Shados, running to the scene. Goes,
We got a big party.
"Come on, get in!" And he turns, and as you notice, and you all come up to the entrance of the Clank Tank, you see, instead of a set of stairs leading into the Clank Tank, it is a ramp, perfect for a wheelchair. So he wheels himself up and opens the door and holds it open for everybody to make their way inside. Closes it with a resounding thud and turns a couple locks on the door and swivels himself around. Goes, "Now this here's quite the mess that we got ourselves into now, isn't it?"
Unfortunately, but what's a homecoming without a bang?
You know, I was enjoying my peaceful life, just making guns, selling guns.
And then
And then you came home.
I'm going to kneel down to Click and ask him inside, do you still have it?
And he's just going to flip the small part of what's left of his cloak around his neck. He's going to flip it back, and you just see the small point of the barrel passing up above his shoulder. And he nods.
I think we have a friend here who can help us. And I asked, may I have it?
Click kind of hesitates for a second.
I promise to bring it back.
He nods, and he kind of readjusts the cloak so he could sling the rifle back around in front of him, slip the sling over his neck, and hand it off to him.
And I walk it over to him.
Whoa, where'd you get that?
We found it on the way here.
He just reaches his hands out and grabs it and starts inspecting it.
Do you
My apologies. I'm terribly sorry. My name's Ianric. You could just call me Ian for short. It's just much easier that way. I know Lapis because she grew up here. Who are the rest of you? A, right?
Yes.
Who's your friend?
Click. Click spoon.
He just sort of gives you a wry smile and nods. And the rest of your band of fellow merrymen?
We have... I don't think I got your name. Ylorhana. This one is Spiky
Hello.
Boy. This one is from Brooklyn. Don't talk to her. She'll
Oh,
ruin your
no,
shit.
excuse me, do not make fun of my thick fucking accent. My name is Restrana,
Lord
Killer, Calthagarenthee, and shut the fuck up. And this is Nazula, full-blood Calthagarenthee, my cute
Nazula is not with you. Remember, you sent her off to look for where the bandits came from.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
Terrible mother alert.
Shit. So yes, I am Restrana, my not so apparent Lapis, shut the fuck up. Not so apparent friends call me Res. I got to go find my golden eagle. I don't need to pee. Don't get that twisted. I just need to go find.
If you do need to rest for a bit, I've got a restroom in the back.
Cool.
I can
Yeah.
fire up some tea, turn on the radio, try to.
Ian, too much. Reel it in.
So I'm gonna just like wink at him and then just like back walk, very awkwardly moonwalking through the door.
to go try to like call Lazulli.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and do that.
Are we
Scatter,
this is like a short rest?
Yes, I would consider this to be a short rest. So if you want to roll any hit die to regain any HP, you can do that. If you have any recovery abilities to gain spell slots, you can use those. I don't think any of you do because that's reserved for wizards, warlocks, and who else?
Sorcerers can use sorcery points.
Sorcerers.
But I don't think they get it on short rests.
No.
I got my love divinity back.
I'm back to full health, baby.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Ian, do you have anything ammunition-wise here that would work with this rifle?
I mean, let me first take a look at what we got here. And he wheels over to his workbench and
I
sets it down.
shoot Flick to go watch it.
Yeah, as soon as she took the rifle, I'm there. I'm not letting the rifle out my sight.
So, Ian goes ahead and wheels away with the rifle, and you immediately just scurry, just making your way over towards Ian as he makes his way into his back workshop and starts examining the rifle. Is there anything the rest of the party would like to do during this time?
I'm looking at the shop and seeing if anything gets finished.
As you look around the shop, you see that there is a plethora of firearms ranging from bolt-action rifles to lever-action rifles, hand pistols, revolvers, hunting rifles even. This place is pretty stacked. I think all in all, on display, you see about 11 or 12 guns.
Okay.
Hey, you asked about ammunition for the gun. As you ask that question, Ian just turns back and says, "I'll have your answer in just a bit. Just hang tight and don't worry, your friend's in safe hands. Lapis will attest to that. I'm pretty harmless, but
most of the time,
put a gun in my hand and I can get the job."
Sly old sneaky snake.
I'm only 200 years old. Thank
Exactly,
you very much.
you sly sneaky snake.
I am going to. I'm actually going to go over to Shados. Is that correct, Shados? Shados. So, how did you get here?
Well, travel with the troop and swordsman. And, yeah, just travel around. Not much to me.
Yeah, you can insight check.
What else does your troop do?
Music, arcane tricks and showdowns. Need some strength.
Oh, so it's like, what's that word? Like carnival.
Yeah.
Carnies! My favorite people to deal with.
I actually have a very special thing to mention. I'm blessed by say. Unfortunately,
Oh, do me!
Oh my.
I don't think right now would be the appropriate time, but I would have to meditate that it takes about 20 or 30 minutes. And then I can do you. But it's only once and then I can do a watch, but I don't think right now I'm just maybe answer that.
If we live.
Cool then. We can do that. Yeah.
When all this blows over, talk to my boss Beltron. You're looking for work.
Okay.
Can you spell that?
B E L T R A N.
Oh, so cool. It's like the how do you say back the phonetic spelling. Sounds like it's spelled. Yeah.
I just see Ylorhana kind of sitting off in the corner and just kind of like scooch over towards Lapis and I'm just like, do you know her?
Yes, she, unfortunately caused a lot of property damage.
No, not the big one.
Oh.
The quiet one.
Womp, bitch.
You fuck on me.
I fuck on you.
Yes, you still owe my family.
I'm working on it, okay?
You have a lot to work for.
Oh, of course.
This, and then my hair's just gonna kind of ethereally-esque float. I don't know.
Yes. Right? It's very quite beautiful.
I mean, kind of gets annoying after a while, and just like the mass of hair, just like water, just ever so slightly, just follows.
I'm actually learning Skeleton's writing. If you would like.
Can you please? It is always in my face. It makes reading really hard. And note taking. So much ink has gotten in my hair.
Of course. And then I go behind and I gently just I give her like almost.
Because you're only working with half of a product.
Yeah.
Because all of this is just shaved.
That's all shaved. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually do like almost like a sort of braid, like right along the shaved part, pulling it up and over, and once it gets to the back, I'm going to like kind of let it go to feel like the floatiness. So like it's pulled back and out of your face, but the braid is a little thick, right? Almost giving you like that like Viking type big braid in your center.
Mohawk braid.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the hair's like that.
Make a dexterity check for that. No, not a dex check. Not a save.
It's a 13.
13. We all look to see if animals are invading. You wrestle with it for a while, for a good 30 or so seconds, but suddenly you feel the ethereal nature of her hair starting to work with you rather than against you, and you come up with a pretty decent side braid, as decent as you'll ever get for
I've never touched touching this type of
Water
yeah,
hair.
exactly.
Feels like hair, acts like hair underwater.
It's quite beautiful.
Thank you.
And you just see her like apply this thick blush and just kind of go and see what is going on in the back room.
Fantastic segue.
Takes a strand of hair.
So, panning to the work area of the Clank Tank, you see Ian is at his workbench studying the strange engraved rifle that he's been presented, and after taking about 10 or so minutes of examining it, he looks at it and goes, I see your problem right here. You see this pin right here? It's sticking out in the place that it shouldn't be. Just give me just give me about a half hour. I'll get it fixed for you real quick.
How?
How? Well, and he goes into explaining the mechanics of the rifle to you. From what you gather, it is a a pump-action hunting rifle that has a 5-round capacity to it. So every 5 rounds you shoot, you have to spend an action or a bonus action to reload. Other than that, that's all he ascertains from it, and looks down at it and he goes, I haven't seen this design on a gun. Nothing this special anyway. You take care of this. I'll get it back to you in some time. Just don't worry. I'm good at what I do. Just go wait with your friends for a bit. I need to concentrate.
Click kind of. He holds up a finger as if to say wait, and then A is coming back at this point. I assume you said you were walking back, and he walks over to her and signs. May I watch, please? And points towards him, towards Owen.
I'm going to like to watch. He learns a lot, as we see from our conversations, and he is quite an interesting stuff. Would it be okay if he just quietly watches you as you work?
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
I'm going to use it anyway. It's the rest of me.
Can I assist, like vouch for her?
She's in the workroom right now. You're in the front area of the shop. Yeah, the showroom.
Does the 25 do it?
Yeah. No, he
No.
he looks at the two of you, looks down at the gun, and looks over towards Click and says, I need absolute silence from you while I do this.
He nods and also signs yes.
He says, yes, of course. I will go out and meet you.
Just give me about a couple feet of distance while you watch. I tend to move pretty quickly, so see if your beady little eyes can keep up. And at this point, he starts to work on the gun tirelessly over the course of the next half hour. So we find ourselves in the Clank Tank, the town of Wildstone's notorious gunsmith shop, where its owner and proprietor, Ylorhana, more commonly known as Ian, has inspected a firearm that Click has picked up in his travels as of recent. As he is explaining the schematics of the weapon to Click, a knock is heard at the door. And as I get the music on, as this knock is heard, Ian immediately slings his own lever action rifle and rolls up to the door, and you can see at his eye level is a little peephole that he just stares through a bit, and he lets out this heavy breath and opens the door, and in walks the familiar sight of Lila, the half-orc. She looks around a bit, looks over towards Ian, and just bends down and gives him a big hug. Looks at him. I thought you weren't going to make it out. Well, you know how skilled I am with old Bessie here. Because everyone names their guns.
Can confirm.
Lila turns around to the rest of you He goes, you were all there when... Well, now I'm mixing up accents. You were all there when the Sabers came into town. Saw you all fighting. You, can handle yourselves pretty well. I only came to check up on Ian because I heard the gunfighting, and me and the rest of the town were able to drive away the Sabers back to where they came from, but that's not going to be enough. They'll rest up, they'll regroup, they'll come back tomorrow. We know how they operate. I need to ask all of you a favor.
Okay.
How'd you all like to make some gold to clear them out once and for all?
How much?
Always.
100 gold to each of you.
Can't say no to that. Someone still owes me for repairs.
150.
I'm working on it, okay?
Make a persuasion attempt.
Every time Ylorhana starts haggling for money, I'm just gonna think of the landlady's kit that Will Ferrell would do. Give me your fucking money!
She turns to you, cold look in her eyes. You're trying to extort me in our town after it was attacked by this ruthless cutthroat group.
You have some city pride.
I mean, it's not my city.
Yeah, but you're in it now, so...
100 gold. Or you can just leave.
Fine.
Leave. Luke's gonna go up to them and look up at them and say, in his own, in Ra's voice, Rashagame?
Rashagame's okay. He's at home. He's resting up. He's not much use now. He got hit pretty bad by whatever the fuck that is that Cyrona threw at him. He's gonna take a little bit of time to recover, but don't worry. He's in good hands. We got him at the Temple of Amare. Father Roderick's looking over him right now.
Thank you for taking care of that.
Well, yeah, he's my brother. What else am I going to do? Just let him die?
I know, but it's still appreciated.
I took an oath to protect the ways of our people, and the ways of our people also include those who came after. Knowing your family and your ancestry is important, and revering them is one thing. But what use is that if you can't use that power to save your own kin in the present?
I'm gonna just look at Clank and go, so, you said Reshagame, you small bird person. How much do you understand, like, cognitively?
Bird person.
Click is going to look over at A and sign more than you know.
He says, more than you'll know.
Is that challenge?
No.
And I just, like, get this big, huge smile across my face, and I go, okay, little one, we will be great friends! And just grab him, like, by the shoulder and just, like, bear hug him with one arm.
You're gonna crush this small child.
Your beak nestles very firmly in Restrana's very muscular bosom. This embrace.
Does it bother you with how much crossbow you have to get amongst your arms to do so?
As you pull them in, you just hear this as all the crossbows start banging up against each other.
I got beer on my nose. Ow!
Lila looks at all of you. Goes, we can't be under the control of the Sabers, not for much longer. We have lived in fear of them, and every day are worried whether we'll even be granted protection by them. Today we saw their true colors. Now, I think it would be foolish of them to attack tomorrow, so you can at least rest tonight. Prepare yourselves. We're in a bit of a state of disarray, obviously, but our shops are still running, and whatever you need, we'll be more than happy to lend you.
So the conflict has died down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either we could take a rest and stab people in their bedrolls, or we could deal with this tomorrow.
I vote tomorrow. I'm quite tired. It's been, if no short time, it's been a long day.
It really has.
You hear A's voice echo through Click's mouth saying,
I vote tomorrow.
We have 3 for tomorrow. Who else?
I.
Or... Sure. 5. No one cares! Fuck you!
Fuck on you! But tomorrow, then.
How
Fucking
close is the tavern to, like, the city border? Like, is it as you cross into town? Is it more in the city?
It's more in the center of town. Like,
Okay.
you walk past a couple businesses here and there, but it takes about a good, 5 minutes of walking until you get into the town itself, until you get to the Crooked Trail.
And do we know... I'm trying to think. How far out of the city they are, or no? Like, do we have any idea of, like, their home base of operations, or...
You have someone who... You have multiple people around you that have dealt with the Sabers, Lila being one of them,
Okay.
if you want to ask her something.
Alright, I'll pretty much just impose the same question to Lila. I'm more concerned about being asleep at the tavern and having people come into the city. If we have to patrol the border of the city, that is fine. But I would like fair warning so I can pack.
Well, from what I understand, the Sabers have recently taken up residence at this abandoned arcane guardsman fort known as Fort Tyloni. It's about a couple days east of here. Them and a couple of individuals that they hired drove out, from what some of their members had told us, drove out this group that was originally staying there. But yeah, they're about a couple days away.
Okay.
They move pretty fast if they want to rest up, so they'll most likely be there by tomorrow and still need to rest up and recuperate and regather their supplies. So,
Alright, so I suggest we go back to the drought.
I agree with this. Though I think that Dirk and I may stay behind for a little bit and stay with you and Ian here to help. Some new armaments.
Alright, well, either I will see you at the tavern, or I will see you at some point tomorrow. Ian, don't blow anything up.
well, No promises, Lapis, but you know me. I can. And he points to his one arm, which has been covered by a long tunic, and you see as he lifts it up, right above his gloved hand, you see a clockwork prosthetic of an arm. I get a little bit reckless sometimes.
I know you do. Just make sure to call me if you need anything, and I'm gonna bend down and give him a hug, and we'll catch up later, but I have to check on the parents, you know that.
Give him my best, and I'll see if I can stop by tonight. I've got a lot of cleaning up to do.
Take your time.
And, at this point, Lila turns to you and says, "For you and all your friends leave, perhaps you can do one more thing for me.
Besides clean up these bodies?
Well, don't worry. The rest of the town's militia and I will take care of that. Well, I say militia, but the truth is, there are only so many people, me, Ian, Rory over at the Gaze. We can only train so many people. If you can find someone or a group of people that can help train us, that would be more than appreciated. I had sent out multiple letters and correspondences to the family over in Bahrain, but I haven't heard back from them for a while. So
Which family?
the family, and Lila points over to Click, who is wearing the cloak of the family.
And he pushes the cloak up a little bit and reveals in his left breast area there's an image of a tree sprouting upward.
It seems either they don't care much to help us out, which wouldn't make sense to me, or someone's been stealing their contracts. But we have the funds to pay all of you and to pay them if we can get them to help train our people. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Shad. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is kind of our fault a little bit, just a smidge, kind of.
What are you talking about?
Talking to Shad. So.
No, you said it was your fault somehow, and Ian goes, "Yeah, what do you mean about that?"
So there was. They were saying that in the beginning, in order for us to get into Wellstone, we had to pay them a certain amount of money. We didn't have
the Sabers, you mean?
Yes. We didn't have this money. And so we did a favor for them. And then this favor turned out being a lot more than we expected.
And what was this favor?
To bring the rat back to its homeland.
I
the Warhammer Queen with fur.
What?
I don't know her name.
You
she
gave
has some
Sirona her pet back?
Yeah, well.
At this point, Lila reaches back towards her sheath and unsheaths her longsword and points it at you and goes, "Do you realize what you did?"
No, actually I don't. So, you might
Maybe
wanna...
my sword can tell you what you did.
Oh.
Russ is gonna step up and just kind of like clomp her fucking feet and just look at Lila.
Roll intimidation.
Oh god.
Let's see what happens.
Nothing good. What is Shados doing while this is going on? Is he just like awkwardly sweating in the corner, just
like anime sweats?
No, bitch, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
I don't know you.
I got 12 for intimidation.
Oh
Carrying on.
Carrying on. Lila with the sword gently grazing the underside of Ylorhana's mask. You can hear the scraping of the metal against the wood and glass of the mask. Locks eyes back with you. Takes her long sword away, sheathes it back in.
May I ask, what has happened?
Would I hear shit from my parents that I could put two and two together?
I mean,
to
there
know
is
where you fucked
there
up,
is
or...
more to the situation as well.
Sirona is the leader of the Sabers. She is the one that almost killed my brother.
Okay, I know that.
And what they did was they retrieved her demonic badger back from whoever it was at that fort.
Well, Shad made friends with it.
Did you ask why you had to retrieve
So-
the demonic fucking badger?
Well, they just told me their higher up wanted their pet back. That's all they told me. They didn't say a demonic badger. I mean, I might have questioned it if that were the case.
Okay, there
But-
you go. What was your name? Fucking Lil Link?
But
What the fuck was it?
Shad and his crew and me wanted to get into Wellstone. We didn't have the money, so we did what we had to do. And then when we got there, we ended up freeing a bunch of people who were enslaved and giving them a bunch of fucking armor and then bringing them into the fucking Wellstone.
Well,
So,
Who were these people that you freed?
our citizens,
yeah.
the ones that you saw fighting the Sabers,
Yeah.
our newly created militia, which now I owe you my thanks.
You're fucking welcome.
You, on the other hand,
How do we even?
sort of wipes the sweat from her brow.
I'm just saying it could probably become an advantage for us, the fact that he can actually get this thing to go elsewhere. I mean, it fucking carried slaves across God knows where to Weldstone with us. So I'm just saying, maybe he could do it again.
Get Dolaris back.
Shados is very uncomfortable.
Get your friend back, I guess. And keep a close eye on your tiefling friend. You don't know if he might turn against you, as is kind or prone.
Whoa!
Racist! I know you better than that. Do I?
I'm gonna...
Insight.
Yeah, you can roll insight.
Well, that is a 18.
Okay.
You can tell that she's just very, very frustrated. Frustrated.
Frustrated.
West-weighted.
She's frustrated.
Lila is very Lila is very frustrated and angry at what transpired. She's not at all pleased that this happened. However, because of her overzealous nature, she's known to say things that she doesn't quite mean.
I will wait for that apology later. I have taught you better.
We'll see. Do the job. You'll get paid. That's all you mercenaries ever care about anyway. And she turns around and storms off.
Before she
Monk!
storms off, I'm gonna try and catch up with her and kind of just like loosely grab
Make a
Dex saving throw?
Well,
like, I have to like be able to like grab her before she leaves. I don't
I'm assuming you're trying to grab her as like a tiny child.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
not
this-
not like
this
yank
is-
her around.
Sure.
Just apply pressure.
just do a dexterity check for me.
Okay.
See how fast you are.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
As soon as you go to grab at her, she just swats your hand away and just storms out the door, throwing her like half shoulder cape around her and slams the door. And Ian looks at all of you and goes, "Well, that could have gone better."
Yeah, you think?
I'm gonna look at Ian and go, so, who's that fucking cunt? Because, she sucks.
So, that is Lila. She claims to be the town's warden, so to speak. Sheriff, constable, judge, jury, executioner, essentially. She carries a great heavy weight upon her shoulders of swearing to uphold the light of our town. And that she tends to have some overzealous tendencies. And she's just a very abrasive woman. Just she didn't grow up around here. She came from one of those nomadic tribes, you know. Something she mentioned to me before about something having to do with her lineage, but I can't remember. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What's important now is you helped us out. We owe you a great deal, and the least I can do is, if you need firearms or use firearms, I can offer you them at a lower rate than usual. Especially you, friend, because you seemed very interested in what I had to offer. Oh, and before I forget, here you go, and hands the rifle to you.
Quick takes it, and I assume while they were fiddling with it, he unloaded the round that was in there to
Yes.
clear everything. And he looks at it for a moment, and remembering how he had assembled it and chambered around and everything, he just clears it a couple times, checks the action, and just looks it over, just with wonder. Like,
You're,
cha-
Like a kid on Christmas.
you're smarter than you look.
Ruffles his feathers.
Thank you.
That's a little bit unsettling. I can't say I've run into many of you around here, but
I can't say I've run into many of you around here.
okay, that is fucked up.
No, he genuinely like motions towards the wheelchair and the prosthetic, and
Just sort of leans down towards you and pats you on the head. Just goes, That's a story for another time. Maybe come back here when you got a little bit more grit in you, and I'll tell you a tale.
thank you.
Now, friends, go rest up. You you essentially got an army to clear out tomorrow.
Question.
To the DM or to Ian?
You. Well, no, like the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your arm prosthetic thing. Is that the same kind of thing that woman has? Is it made the same way by the same person?
Well, there's only one individual in Eddonia who deals in making prosthetics such as these, and they're pretty pricey. And I can see why she, made a gang of roving, traveling bandits to get the money, because this was, you don't want to know how much this cost, but if you ever find yourself in Caldroy, tell Feltrix Lanark Ian sends his regards.
Beldrick.
Feltrix.
Caldroy. I'm from there.
Might have passed this shop a couple times.
Does it sound familiar to me?
I don't know. He's a bit of a weird one. The name might have stuck out, but
Do you see me?
yes, I do see you. But I don't actually see you behind that.
But this.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have ammo? For...
Yes. I almost forgot. Just give me a bit, clear out my shop, because it's a little bit of disarray right now. But I'll have something for you pretty soon. I just got to do a little bit of digging around, because that rifle has that rifle needs a special kind of ammo that I know I definitely have. I just need to look at my stockpile in the back. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Real quick, and I'm just gonna kind of like walk up to Ian and like put my arm around the back of his chair and just kind of like turn the chair away from the rest of the party. I'm just gonna look at you very calmly and go, is Lila a good person? Or is she kind of, how does one say, oppressive?
Good and evil are very gray areas that tend to overlap into one another. Sure, she has her ways of getting things done, but I wouldn't call her any sort of iron-handed tyrant whatsoever.
Not exactly what that is.
Be more specific.
Does she abuse people of less power than she has?
By the plains, no. She is the furthest thing from her mind. In fact, that's what her and Rashagame escaped from. She wouldn't dare do that to another human, Goliath, tiefling, to anybody.
Okay. Thank you very kindly. And I kind of wink at him and push him back towards the rest of the party.
Hey, I can handle traveling myself. Thank you very much.
Well,
It's okay. It's alright. It happens. It happens.
kind of just smile awkwardly back to him.
Lapis,
Yes.
do you happen to know of a store that may have healing potions and such around?
You do.
Sweet, I do. It's on the corner of Go and Fuck Yourself. Just kidding.
Most definitely gonna go with you to that potion shop.
Ian overhears this and goes, you're looking for Don's place. The oh, gods, fucking hate this name. Why can't respectable merchants keep their shop names simple and efficient? You're looking for the Defiant Elixir Wand and Wares Emporium.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Find
I get enough for my husband as it is already.
I mean, cool.
Define elixirs, wands, and
Pretty much all your general and arcane needs you can buy. You know, arcane focuses is center your spells. He's got healing potions. He's got a few rare items, but those are a little bit pricey as he's the one who enchants them. He's actually learned a lot of his trade from Feltrix. They studied together, but he tends to be more into the enchanting side rather than old Feltrix. But just fair bit of warning. We have a lot of characters in this town. He's by far the strangest.
husband?
Yeah. He recently went to he recently went to Varain to pick up some supplies about 2 or 3 days before you all showed up. He should be on his way back now, but
You just see like these faces like she's trying to
2
process.
penises equal a happy marriage. We don't judge in this town.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I take it you're not from around here, are you?
No.
Don't worry, 2 vaginas do too.
What?
Women can love women. He's fine.
Yeah.
And you just see her just kind of like not like trying to process it, and like getting kind of flustered and like blushing and like just.
He wheels up to you and just like places his hand like on your forearm, like reassuringly, and goes, "Honey, we got a lot to teach you about this place."
Oh, honey, we're gonna take you out. It's gonna be a good time.
Do you need a diagram?
Yes, pictures. Pictures. I have so many pictures.
I think we can spare the poor girl some details. Just know we have an unofficial saying that goes around Eddonia is just love is love.
Oh, and there's also this thing where some people are not their gender or agender. They're gender neutral. And they're both.
I have so many tomes and I have so many scrolls for you to read. The Cobalt Soul has so many porn.
Did you say porn?
Pornography, yes.
Oh, wow.
I think we should get this poor woman a drink.
Exactly, that's where all my tomes are.
Lead me to clean out my shop. Just try to enjoy yourselves for the rest of the night.
Before I forget, Ian, you've been such a kind and gracious host. Do you have any raw meat?
This is a gun shop. We're not at market, girl.
He looks around and he
Let me
goes,
shut the fuck up.
he goes, I sell things that hunt big game. I don't sell big game.
Shit. Fine. My eagle has... She ran the fuck off.
Did you call to her?
I did the thing, but she just... she's probably picking a carcass. I don't know. Fuck. Where they shot.
I'm gonna go up to A and kind of gonna pull on the cloak a little bit and motion towards Ian and sign to tell him, may I please help?
My friend here would like to help you, if you would be so willing.
I mean, sure, there's only so much I can do by myself. Plus an extra set of, I was gonna say hands, but I don't know quite what you got.
He holds up fingers.
Oh. that's a little disconcerting. Sure,
Uncanny
go for it.
valley.
Just stay away from the firearms. I'll take care of those. Just see anything that seems out of place, just try to bring to my attention.
Okay. Thank you.
I just reach out and I just touch Quick's shoulder. I would want to lose you too. You just cut his head a little bit.
And you hear Mimic back.
And she just gives a little smile and she goes, I'll meet you back at the inn. Apparently I have some learning to do after. Because he really precious.
Fine.
Few drinks.
Don't you break my family's tavern, you son of a bitch!
Hey, listen. I was
Don't
hired
you
for-
start with me. You are causing a terror on small business owners.
Security. I am security.
Oh, she's trying to run. She's trying to run. I sprint out the door.
All right, so Click, you take the next hour or two helping Ian clean up the rest of the Clank Tank, and afterwards you go ahead and find your way back to the Crooked Trout Tavern. While you're cleaning, everyone else, I assume, is going to the general store.
Mm-hmm.
I have pictures to show you, so I'm following you very intently.
I am too.
I've been looking so long at these pictures of you.
Oh my god.
As the rest of you head on your way to the Defiant Elixir Wand and Wares Emporium, you come to the entrance, and it seems very ramshackle from the exterior, but not in a way that it looked like it was under attack in any way. In fact, everyone that's around the vicinity of the store, I need you all to make perception checks.
Oh, okay.
Do I get any advantages because I grew up in the town or no?
Yeah. 19? Fine.
Ooh. I don't see shit.
Okay.
22.
22.
I got a nat 1 with a +3, so 4.
Okay. So, Restrana, Lapis, and A, you notice at the base of the shop before heading up to the entrance, you see that the ground has been disturbed up until a certain point where it seems almost a line has been drawn separating disturbed area from the shop itself. You see like some grass has been burnt leading up to a specific point that seems to circle the front of the shop. As you look at this, you all look up at the door, and it swings wide open, and you all go ahead and make your way inside. And as you look inside the Emporium, you see that as ramshackle was on the outside, it is equally, if not more, disheveled on the interior. As you look around, you see books and scrolls, different weapons and elixirs and potions have been strewn all over the place, as if the shop itself has been ransacked. You can hear off in the distance, the sounds of bubbling cauldrons and flasks on top of Bunsen burners. And you can hear the sound of a prolonged whistle of a tea kettle going off. As you look around, the scent grabs your attention as that of musty pages from old tomes, dried herbs, and even the slightest scent of arcane magic hanging in the air. Suddenly, you all hear a shuffling coming from the back room, and the sound of whirring and metal hitting the wooden floor as a elderly rock gnome, sporting a pair of wide, thick glasses, walks in on almost a Doc Ock type contraption that allows him to levitate off the ground while these mechanical clockwork legs do the walking for him as he's just looking around aimlessly, and finally locks eyes with all of you, but still continues doing what he's going about doing. You see him start to rifle through some books that are in a pile, flip through some pages. He looks at it and goes, throws it back, and walks up to his desk, and you see the arms that are allowing him to walk extend as he looks around on a high shelf, and he picks out another book and he starts reading through it.
What you got there? Hey. Yo.
I'm gonna get in the middle between him and his book. Hello!
He is about 20 feet up in the air.
Oh, never mind then. I'm gonna try to.
Hello! What's around us?
Down here!
Around you, you just see a lot of general wares, books, adventuring supplies.
Do I see any healing potions?
Not in your immediate vision. Suddenly he closes his book with a loud and looks down and goes, "Welcome! And, what can I help you all with?"
I want healing potions.
Would it kill you to say... Oh, well, I was just gonna say, would it kill you to say please, but, never mind, I don't like you. Yes?
I don't like you. I'm going outside.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, a lot of
Lapis!
people like me.
Hi!
What brings you to town?
Oh, you know, stopping home, making
And he seems to have stopped paying attention as he continues reading through his book again.
That's what I thought, you son of a bitch!
Hey, I heard that!
I know you're multitasking bullshit.
Shh. That's the good part.
I'm gonna cast Shape Water over his book and turn it into ice so he can't read it. I'm trying to make you money, and then I'm gonna put water on the book.
As you dispel the water, it stops about an inch above the book and gets flung across the room into a wall with a resounding splash. And he looks at you with his spectacles, and they seem to extend all on their own as they zoom in on you. He goes, "You know what I'm capable of.
I know, and these people are trying to buy things
You know
from
magic
you.
doesn't work on me.
We are. I told you how to be polite.
Oh, why
didn't
did you
I?
say so? You wanted to buy something!"
Oh.
And he throws the book behind him again, adding to the pile of books that are around. Yes.
I'm gonna get aggravated by his disrespect towards Lapis and grab a book and just yeet it at his fucking face.
As you do that, you see a golden spectral hand emerge as he draws a sigil in the air. Sigil in the air. As a Bigby's floating hand emerges and grabs the book and throws it into the same pile that he threw other books in.
I'm just gonna look at it and go, oh, and then fuck you! Me does fuck you too!
The Bigby's hand, which originally was like an open palm, slowly lifts up its backside towards you and just extends a middle finger in your direction.
Healing potions.
You just see A come around a corner because she like got lost and started looking around with a book. She just looks up at him and goes, "You have quite an amazing
Those aren't
selection."
even the good ones. The good ones are in the back, behind the curtain.
Hey, no one's allowed back in there.
We had an agreement.
You! Tiefling! What are you here for?
Your ware's in the back.
Is he here for the porn?
Yes.
I'm not. I would just simply like some healing potions if you have any, and maybe a chance to look through your book selection.
And porn, I'm trying to switch her. Wink, wink.
I've got 5 common healing potions. Just toss the gold pieces in that jar over there. And he points in a general direction. And you see this giant mason jar that's about 5 feet tall and 4 feet wide, full of various coins and paper notes.
IOUs and stuff.
How many gold pieces?
It's 1 per potion.
Okay, I'll take all of them.
Well, while he's preoccupied, I'm gonna go back.
I see you, Lapis.
I'm of age!
Fair point.
Then I proceed.
5.
Yeah, Lapis.
Come join, there's some good shit back here.
Now, Tiefling, can I interest you in any knuckle hairs? And as he says that, you see
down
like
your
a
neck.
little bit of dribble forming at his mouth, and just like a little spit bubble emerge.
Shados, you're his kink! Milk it, he's rich!
Surely I have such a where to satiate that demonic soul of yours.
My vagina has never been this dry before.
Give me that demonic cock, daddy!
You got this. Just
Click is missing out on so much good material right now. Too busy cleaning.
Are you sure Click should be in on this
Yes.
material?
no.
You'll get there eventually.
You said 5 just potions of healing.
Yeah, just common. So if you read the description, it should be 1d4 plus 4. I always forget if it was 1 or 4, because I know. Regardless. So, how rude of Lapis not to introduce me. My name is Dawn Monarch. Welcome to the Defiant Elixir Wand and Wares Emporium. And as he does that, the lanterns that are dotting the room around him start to like flicker and brighten super bright and then dim down. He goes, "Sorry, you just have a tendency of doing that."
Got a fucking laser light show going on when he introduces himself.
I've got anything you could possibly want.
Really?
Desire.
Would
One
you
might
happen
say.
to have any books about the gods?
Sure, I've got loads.
Would you mind if I just peruse them?
Dumb request,
I mean,
but
if you
okay.
could find them.
I'm actually quite adapted to finding things that are missing. So, yes. And she just skitters off, and you can just see her just like, and like pulls one and just like sets it on a table, and then goes find another and another.
Like a Hufflepuff and a Ravenclaw have a baby.
Shit, wasn't the creepy fucking perv talking to you about
I am not a perv.
I'm so
per
sorry, you
my
fucking
porn collection in the
cunt.
back would tell you otherwise.
Oh, the porn collection.
No,
fine.
Restrana! He means it! Come look!
What?
Come here! And I pop my head out through the curtain.
Oh my god,
Come
the
back
porn.
here.
Oh
Yes,
my
the
god.
porn.
Okay, I'm going back with the porn.
I'm gonna get
I am
the
just doing the fucking
raunchiest
butterfly
collection that
scrub
I
in the
can.
porn.
And then I'm
It's
gonna
great.
flip through all the books. I'm gonna find the most, like, quote unquote, offensive positions and stack them on top of each other,
So,
and then go to A and just
when
be like,
you-
look at all of this!
When you pick out all these books, you notice that there are none with pictures. A lot of them just seem to be erotic novels. Some of them are a little bit more raunchy than others. A couple of the titles that you find are
The horny tiefling.
Are there any that are God-related that I can try to slip as like, quote-unquote, learning?
Can I just say that's why they say that you're getting to know someone religiously?
Yeah.
So
Sorry about that.
you find a couple books, and among the raunchiest books you find, one of them is entitled "The Shadow Tongue's Talent." Are you good?
Okay.
Another one that you find, a little bit more on the tame side, you find called "The Fury of the Small." How one goblin sexcapade brought the world to its knees.
I don't feel like this will stretch to A very well.
And finally, you find one called "Interplanar Binding: How to Bend the Will of the Planes to Your Genitalia."
I'm gonna grab that one.
Put that in
Hey,
Yep,
the
I'll grab that one.
I found this one. It says, sorry, my common not so good in the reading department. Golden gods, how to make the gods follow your desires.
God fanfic is basically what I'm looking for.
The Shadow Tongue's Talent is the
Is
God
the God
fanfic.
fanfic? Okay.
It is a book on the history of Anatea, who is one of the Forgotten Ones.
Is it... How raunchy is it?
You get to the first page, and it starts off,
We're doing this.
We are doing this.
on a warm, moist evening in the summer glades.
And closes. I'm sold. I'm sold. Moist was in the first sentence. I think she'll like this.
Okay.
However, perusing through the other books, you find that all the pages are blank.
False advertising.
You hear Dawn from the other room go, "I have to make my money somehow.
Rude. We talked about
Listen,
this.
if you really want it, the words will appear."
Oh, well then I guess I don't really want it.
Yeah, so put them back on the fucking shelf.
I will spill so much ink on all of your wares.
You know that won't work.
I know. The girl from the dream, though, stopped yelling at me. I'm gonna put the books back, except for the
He's not even in the room, and he goes, "No, not that spot!
I'm gonna start rearranging them.
Stop it!
Make me!
Now, I've got the elf satisfied with her pursuit of and lust of knowledge. I've a little horn dog over there perusing through the porn. Is there anything I can interest you?
Getting closer and closer to Shados.
Is there a spell called Bigby's Cock?
Because I want it.
Hey, you wee scrot. Just looking for a couple of healing potions.
Oh, unfortunately, I sold all of them to your lovely friend over there, but
Okay, bye now.
I have some spell scrolls if you're interested.
Nope.
Hey,
Oh.
no one ever wants a spell scroll.
Do you have anything else interesting?
Oh. Fine, interesting.
I Like, are we talking decapitated humans, or...
I mean, that's cool. But I'm thinking
Gore.
like maybe something liquid, maybe like poison, or something flammable, or
not on
magical.
hand, but magical. I have those spell scrolls that I spend so many hours working on. But you need a poison. Just give me a couple days and I'll do it.
That is the most meth head piece of shit you've ever come up with.
Shut up!
Well, you see, I kind of need it by tomorrow.
An all-nighter, he said.
Well, it's for the good of the town and shit like that.
I mean, but is it really?
Yeah.
Make a persuasion roll. I'll do.
For me,
I'll throw an extra gold for you.
he doesn't
Sold!
really... I was gonna say, he doesn't really care about gold.
I mean,
I just like seeing my jar. You can never be too.
Just like your ass.
Hey, it's not my fault this contraption's a suppository. And as he turns around, you actually do see that it is jammed up into his rear end.
Your legs work.
But it's hard!
Don't you be lazy with me, young man.
I think it is hard.
I am 300 times your elder!
Yeah, young man. You did not hear
Now, if you all don't need anything else, I have to work on this lovely woman's poisons.
Which books do I pick up?
So you pick up a book on the founding of Eddonia. That's all you can really glean from this. These are very, very esoteric books that he has in his possession. Like anything from how to set up standing stones in druidic cultures to even crafting your own runes for weapons. Like, these are very out there texts. A lot of them are written in very archaic, dead languages. Some of them are written in languages that you can understand, but for the most part, this is a very, very weird shop. Like, this is probably the weirdest place you have been in your time here.
There's not like on like the thing with the gods. The
Pantheon.
that.
Like a god encyclopedia?
You, flipping through the founding of Eddonia, you do find a list of the Pantheon of Eddonia, ranging from the Exalted Ones, Syre, Mykdos, Photeus, those to the Forgotten Ones, such as Amnos, Anatea, who else? Cedros, even.
Is there the story of the Forgotten and the Exalted Ones in there?
You're going to have to spend some time reading to find out.
Okay, I'm gonna. How much is this book? I'll offer you 7 pieces for it.
And he leans in a little bit closer, and you can see, like, his hands are very gnarled and weathered as he places them upon his chin, and you can see protruding from his hands are these very long, yellowed, dirty, curled fingernails as he's... Two. Perfect. Now leave! I have... What?
What is it thing up your ass?
This?
Yeah. It looks like fun.
You want to try? I can easily get off of it if
Not
you
with
want.
that same one, but where did you get it? What the?
Oh, I made it.
retailer? Oh, that's cool. Do you have the schematics?
Does
Leans
it
in a little
vibrate?
bit. He leans in a little bit closer. I'm trying to steal the secrets.
No. Only your secrets
Oh, no,
for
Restrana.
his pleasure. That's it.
Your bird is outside.
Shit, Nizzle! I just, like, need the door the fuck open. Bolt the fuck out. Try to find that.
Shados, your name was. Should we know what it spells?
Plays with the tip of your horn.
Now.
Not yet.
Now. Starts twirling your hair a little bit.
I grab.
Like
I
getting
walk up
his
to-
yellowed fingernails caught in it.
I go up to Shados and I'm like, shall we return to the to Lapis's place? I think there was some education we wanted me to have. Let's go.
Yes.
As you all leave, you just hear this heavy sigh coming from Don, being like, "No one ever wants this." As you
I
all-
look into the spell scrolls.
As you all make your way back to the Crooked Trout Tavern, it is now late evening due to the time that you spent fighting, bruising the shops, talking with Lila and Ian.
The sketchy ass play.
Is there anything that you would all like to do before you turn in for the night?
I'm gonna spend some time with A, and I'm gonna give her the books that I purchased.
I am definitely gonna need heavy.
Okay.
Betty and a monster.
I wait for as I'm sitting there like in the thing trying to read the book that I actually want to read, like the Founding of Eddonia, and trying to find the information I need. And Lapis is just shouting this other book in my face, and I'm just waiting for Click to get back, and I'm just sitting here
Read it.
going,
Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it. Stop moving. Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it.
and every single time she like shoves it, you just see like her turn like a slightly darker shade bright. And she like she catches the word, she's like, fuck.
Yes, those are the words you catch.
Ass play. Wet.
In fact, suppository is one of the words you catch too.
Oh my
You just see her just go. How about we do baby steps first? I only found out today that relationships between people of the same
Gender.
thank you happen. So let's just start basics before we get into
But I mean, let's
Giant
be real. Like,
stars in her eyes.
You-
And
you-
she just goes, "Oh, what? What's wrong?" And she like pushes your hair off of her shoulders, and she just goes, "What? What's bothering you?"
I'm
just,
gonna leave
like,
you two alone.
You see A just with the like Founding of Eddonia book like as a shield in front of her, just kind of go and slide. And you see her turn like bright red, like the hardest blush you could ever see, and you're just like,
What's the height difference between us?
I'm like I'm slightly taller than you would expect.
Okay.
So I'm like 5'9"-ish.
Okay, so you're 2 inches taller than me.
Yeah, so she's just like trying to like slide out of make yourself as small as possible and kind of just slide out from underneath.
Do the stereotypical like hand behind you and just go, "Okay, you enjoy that literature." Twirls your hair. "I'll see you later," and then leaves.
Okay, so while that happens, Restrana and Shados, and I'm assuming Click, where are you during all this?
I would like to, after I'm done helping Ian organize, is it Ian or Owen?
Ian.
Ian. Sorry, I don't know why I got them confused.
No, you're good.
Ian when I'm done helping him organize things, would it be possible to buy some of those crown cups?
He, for your hard work, let's just say he gave you about 40 crowns for helping, in exchange for you helping out.
Quickly thanks him, and as he's walking back towards the inn, he kind of just fills the gun a little bit, not affecting the mechanism, just like checking the chambering mechanism, seeing the workings in action as he reloads chambers. You said it was a pump action or a lever action?
Lever action.
Lever action? Okay. Chambers around, pulls the lever again, pop the round out, pockets it again, loads it up, and like repeats the motion repeatedly, just to get the mechanics down. And when he gets back, he slings the rifle and just walks in trying to look for a...
So, while you're looking for A, Restrana and Shados, I'm assuming the two of you are at the bar sharing a bevy and a backy together.
So I'm gonna walk up to Shados and go, okay, so I heard the plea for the bevy and the backy. I got backy if you got the baby. And just kind of like give him some eyes in my 7-something foot body.
What?
Trying to be sexy as a 7-foot tall woman. It's probably not going well.
Do you accept?
Platonic. Okay.
Super understandable.
A Kelly moment. We just met. Who even are you?
Yeah, literally. So cool. Tell me about your life, if you want to, or things you like, or what you care about.
This is uncomfortable. I'm going upstairs.
Good night, Lapis.
You're so terrible at flirting.
I do my best. Okay. Fuck. So, Shados. Yeah, your life. Yes.
It's pretty simple. Dad was a human. Was a swordsman. Taught me what to do. And Mom was a demon. And yeah, I travel around with the troop and
Your group are
performers.
Das ist so cool! I wish! That's so cool to hear someone that does the, how do you say, performing arts. That's cool.
Maybe you could join us.
Oh no, I am shy.
At this point, Beltran, the leader of your troop, pipes in from across the bar and goes, "He's just being modest. Just, you should see him perform in the sword duels.
Yeah?
Oh, he's very good. Or, how would you say in the giant tongue, das ist gut? I'm a little shaky on my German, but my giant.
On my
So
Brooklyn.
On my Brooklyn.
So spreche Brooklynites? Okay.
But yes, old Shadows here. He's a modest man. Just don't let that soft exterior fool you.
The old Cockburn.
I won.
What?
What's your last name?
Okay.
Oh. Is that the...
We don't know where he got it from.
Sanitary issue? Or...
Are you suitable for mating
upstairs at this point.
Yeah, no.
Lapis, shut the fuck up!
I'm just watching this from a distance.
This is terrible.
Beltran chimes in, goes, "We took him to a doctor, and he said that he was fine."
Ah, so it's like a colloquial nickname, last name type deal. What was my dad's name? I get that though. In my culture, our main names that we know each other by are the nicknames that we get from the feats or the. And you see Rest kind of just like beat herself up intellectually for a second for using giantish instead of common in conversation. In my culture, we use the nicknames instead of the birth names on how we introduce people, and that can be from a feat or a decision. So, what does your name do? My nickname is Lord Killer. I killed a giant who enslaved my people, and I kinda ripped his head clean off of his shoulders with my slave chains. So it was a good day. 10 out of 10.
Shados, make a perception check for me. You see Restrana, as she mentions the word slave chains, you see her hands move by her waist, but your eyes aren't quick enough to catch what she just did.
Am I close enough to see what she did? Possibly, maybe.
At the distance that you are, it would be very hard to tell.
I'm just watching.
Well, I'd say he got what he deserved. Oh, most dead. Nah. Absolute son of a bitch, but he's dead. But how do I say? You seem different from what I was taught that tiefling? Is that how you say it? How they would be in real life. I was told that most people would be afraid of me, especially a human demon or thief, because of size or my bodily personality. You know, lots of things. Just, I was raised to be afraid of mingling with other races. But glad we get to share this, what did you say? This Becky and a Becky. This is cool, and I just kind of extend my fist to his fist, and we fist bump.
Nice. Anybody else doing anything before they retire for the evening?
I'm just checking how did the gut?
Okay, so sure enough, you go ahead and retell what happened at the shop. Pretty much all that really happened was, cleaned up, gave you the ammunition for payment. Is there anything specific that the two of you want to talk about other than that?
Not really. Just while he's retelling, and he's doing it fully in sign now that they are sort of retired in the evening. He kind of has cut off the repetition chain, that's just fully retired using these hand motions, and he's so giddy about what he looked that day. This is something that has him ecstatic.
They asked, would you like me to pull
And he looks down the pouch, and the pouch isn't very large. He just signs down. But thank you.
very much? What do you think of our new friend?
He looks her straight in the eyes and says, well, signs. I don't know.
What were you trying to tell Bella? She left. Shall we go see Reggie?
And he signs, Reggie?
Oh, sure. Reggie.
He chuckles, which sounds like a sort of wheezing chortle a little bit. And it sounds as if it's something that's not really intended to come out of a Tenku's mouth, unless it was something replicated, which at this point in time it's not exactly. It's more just a body production. And he stops, he signs yes, and nods his head.
Who goes to the temple? And then she takes her book and the book that Lapis forced her to take.
Which one are you going to read first?
I am going to read the Fountain of Eddonia.
How many hours are you going to spend reading it?
What time is it about now?
At this point, it's about, say, like 8 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, she'll read for like 2 hours.
Okay. So the Founding of Eddonia, as far as you get, you come through, and I will send this to you. You find a couple of creation myths in the first beginning chapters. A couple of speculations on how Eddonia came to be. But the one that catches your eye the most is the story of the Tribulation, which was the battle between the Exalted Ones and the Forgotten Ones for dominion over the world of Khotan Vos, the world that they created. Like I said, I'll send you that blurb. What really stands out to you within that is each of the gods had created an avatar in their own image to sort of lead their people in the fight against either side. And that's as far as you get.
Okay.
Anybody else doing anything?
As Quick's kind of keeping watch over A, as she's breathing, he's just kind of continuing fiddle with the rifle. Just this repetitive nature of over and over again. Chambering around, using the action, applying a small amount of oil that when he had fixed the rifle, I assume that was used in the repair of it. He might have stolen some if he hadn't repaired it, and just kind of like works it in and tries to get it as optimal of a feel as possible.
Alright, yeah.
Before I head up, I'm gonna go over to Restrana and hand her javelin back.
Okay, so Ylorhana approaches you and just, head to one side, just reaches into her bag and produces the javelin that you threw.
You need to work on your aim.
It is a beach comment, but you're not wrong. That was a shit shot on my part.
Just word of advice: breathe before you let go.
Okay.
Good night.
I was going to ask if you wanted to join me for a drink?
Sure.
And for brevity's sake, we'll say that the two of you spend, the three of you collectively, spend the rest of the night drinking before you all head up to your respective rooms. And as you head up, get ready for your night's sleep, you find that for some, sleep comes easily. Lapis, you're home now, and although it was attacked and your safety has been threatened, you feel the sense of comfort that you are with your family again, and that you were able to protect them. Click, you sort of nuzzle up near A in your guys' room, and after fiddling more and more with the rifle, you get to a point where you start to grow fatigued. You set it aside, and you also drift off in one last cooing and rustling of feathers as you nuzzle into A's side. A has already been fast asleep at this point after reading her exhaustive history book on Eddonia. Shados, you drunkenly walk up the stairs to get back to your room and just face plop onto your bed. However, Restrana, it takes you a little bit of time to fall back asleep as you're still wondering about Missoula, and you stare out the window for a bit, watching the night sky. You feel the breeze hit your face as you lean out the window a bit. And off in the distance you see a fluttering of wings. And slowly but surely, Missoula comes flying back in and lands right on your shoulder. And you look at her, and you notice something that you've seen before many times. But this time seems a little bit more special. You notice that Missoula is molting. However, she has this ancient aura about her that was never there before when she was molting. You shrug it off, and the two of you go and fall asleep. Ylorhana, you have the worst time trying to fall asleep. As soon as you close your eyes, visions of a deep and dark forest grip your dreams. You find yourself in a tattered dress, white as pale as the moon and the stars, as you're wandering through this dark woods by yourself. Every so often you hear tiny flutters of wings and laughter, bits of laughter, echoing throughout the woods. You look down at your feet, and where your feet should be, you see mist starting to form around you. And as soon as you turn your gaze up, you immediately feel the sun beating on your face, as it is now morning. Sleep seems to have come and gone as quickly as you would have expected it to. And that's where we will end tonight's session.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Dungeons, Divas, and Delinquents. If you would like to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, be sure to search for us. Special thanks to Randy Zimmerman for composing our theme song. You can find his music as Nothing Specific on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever else you stream your music. We upload every other Monday, so be sure to give us a follow on iTunes or Spotify, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And while you're at it, think about giving us a good rating and leave a review, and tell us what you think. May the arcane guide you, and the exalted ones light your path.